And other than that, we have come across what is social policy, like who has the responsibility to do with the policies here, and why the policies are. So we have come across like the policies, social policies are with regard to give benefit to the weaker sections of the community in the society and to uplift the weaker sections, like all the vulnerable sections of the society. And other than this, in the last class, we have come across human development, and at the same time social development and human development. So we have come across what are the what is human development, social development, as well as the indicators of the human development. So when you look into the human development, the indicator says that when there is longevity of the life, the lifespan gets improvised. So that is one indicator of the human development. And when you think about the other aspects, there should be the sustainability of the development. So all these actually the indicators of the human development. Other than this, in the last unit, the last section of the syllabi content is usually talks about the constitutional framework given for the benefit of or to bring welfare among all the vulnerable sections, the weaker sections of the community, like SC, STs and the BCs and women and children here. But today I would like to just because we have very few little time left over, I just would like to talk about what is called social exclusion. Social exclusion and inclusion, the last unit of the syllabus. So tomorrow anyhow is the last class. So I would like to complete with this topic, social exclusion and inclusion, and then we'll move on to constitutional framework. And then all the other topics I will be reviewing in the last class. So like, first of all, when you talk about social exclusion, how do we define social exclusion? But it is like, technically, what is social exclusion? Exclusion, the term itself gives us the meaning by saying that you're excluding, you're keeping away few communities in the society, like, or detaching few groups or few persons from the society. Detachment of few group of persons or an individual here from the mainstream of the society or the village, the group life. So detachment of the groups and the individuals from social relations and the institutions. So you're not allowing or accepting few communities to enter into this mainstream social relations and the interactions. So who are these and why there is social exclusions in the society? Then what is inclusion? Social inclusion. Social inclusion says that it is something, the process of improving the terms of which individual and the groups take part in the society. So it is the process where few individuals or the group of persons are taking taking active participation in the social activities or the social relations and the institutions. So when you are talking about exclusion, you're separating few groups, you're separating individuals from the mainstream relationship or the institutional framework here. And you're totally, the group of people are away from the mainstream or group of people are away from the societal interaction and the activities in the society. So that means you're preventing few group of communities, few group of people from taking participation or from giving participation, accepting the participation of these people in the relationship of the societies. This is exclusion. First of all, why there is exclusion? Why there is exclusion and who are the community people or who are the persons who are excluded from the society? What are the reasons for their exclusion? So that we are going to study in this topic here. Social exclusion is the process where individuals are denied access to various rights, opportunities, and the reasons that are available to meet to members of a, say for example, few group of persons which are fundamental, which are the rights which are fundamental for any social integration. So when a person or a group of person, when they are denied with the rights, when they are denied with any access in the society, say for example, education, you are not giving them the education, you are not giving, the people are not benefiting or people are not having the access to go for education. This is one denial we are actually talking about in the social exclusion. Or few rights, I have a right to live in the society, fine. I have a right to take up any activity, any economic activity. But when I am excluded, when I am not having the access, then this is called as social exclusion. I repeat once again here. The last topic in the syllabi content is social exclusion and social inclusion. So what is this concept actually here? Social exclusion is the term itself is giving us the meaning. You are excluding few group of persons or individuals from the societal activities, societal relationship, and the institutional framework. That means these group of persons are not having the access to go for their own rights, to make you utilize the rights, to make utilize the resources of the society, to make utilize the opportunities which are there for all the people in general in the society. When these people are not having access for all these kind of opportunities, this is called as social exclusion. And in the reverse side, we have social inclusion. That means people who are involved in all the activities, people who are access to take up all the activities, people who have access to go for all the opportunities and utilizing all the rights in the society, actively participating in all the activities, all social relationship, then this is called on the other side inclusion. Your inclusion is considered accepted for the social activities, and your inclusion is being permitted, and you're not denied of any kind of opportunities or the rights. This is inclusion. So I have all the access, I'm taking part in all the activities, I am given all the opportunities, I'm utilizing all the opportunities, I'm utilizing my rights, I'm claiming my rights. This, when I have access, then I call that I'm included, I'm socially inclusion. My process is social inclusion. When I'm out of all these access, when I'm out, when I'm away, I'm sidetracking, I'm away, I'm alienated. We usually say alienation. When I'm alienated, fine, I'm not taking any active participation. My participation is not being considered. My participation is not being acceptable by the society people in general. My utilization of all the opportunities is not acceptable, or I am not given a space to enter into or take up all the opportunities, then this is social exclusion. So my right of life, my right to live, my right of opportunities, utilization of the opportunities, claiming of the rights is being denied by the society. This we term it as social exclusion. For example, who are the people actually who's been denied of all these inclusion, actually the participation into the social activities, so participation of or utilizing all the opportunities which are generally meant for the public, which are generally meant for the people in the society. For example, we have few clan members, we have few class members, we have few caste members, we have few gender-based kind of characteristic people here. Like we have the lesbian characteristic population, or the people who have the lesbian qualities here. Or we have what is called the caste-based discrimination, the caste-based exclusion we have in the Indian society, right? And at the same time, class-based exclusion also we have. People who don't have access to certain educational status, then even those kind of people, those that group of people are also excluded from the participation. So all this is usually done in the society. Why there should be any kind of inclusion, or why there should be any kind of exclusion? What are the reasons for exclusion and the inclusion usually? One of the features says that why there is, the process says that why there is exclusion. Usually it is meant that generally we have certain norms and conditions in the society. Okay, for all, it has been prepared by the society itself, for all the general population, where we are prescribed. That means these norms, conditions are prescribed by the people, group of people, acceptable by the group of people, and it is to be followed by all the general mass section. When people, some section of the community, some few individuals who are not conforming to these general norms, conditions, who are not into the normative life, who are not living in a normal life, then usually this is a kind of activity of these group of individuals who themselves are sometimes excluding. They are away from the general conditions. They are away from the general normative life. Usually they themselves, sometimes it is their physical characteristic, or sometimes maybe their inner attitude or the inner quality of the person, who usually they are isolating themselves, who generally don't want to follow certain kind of norms, conditions which are there prescribed by the society people for all the general mass people. Then you are excluded from the group. That means your active participation is not acceptable by the people in the society. Now, for example, if we can take the example of the lesbian people, or what is called the LGBT, usually we call the LGBT, right? This the third gender sex, right? Usually in India, we don't accept other than the male and female here, we don't accept for the third gender. But these white, so they have their own unique kind of development of the physical characteristics, isn't it? They have their own attitudinal behaviors. So which is away from the normal behaviors, which is away from the normative prescribed rules, regulations, or the normative prescribed conditions of life. When they're away from all these normative rules, prescribed conditions of life, definitely the general mass public of the society is not acceptable with this kind of behaviors. This is one example we can consider for social. So their activities, their behavior is being not acceptable. People generally don't accept such kind of indifferent way of behavior. So usually these people are excluded. They're not given any inclusion. They're not going to be, that their participation is not considered. Their participation into all the activities are not given any space. Their participation into general occasions, or the general festivals, or general kind of what is called the social relations is not accepted by the general mass public. This we usually take it as social exclusion. So this topic we have in the last unit actually. So I'm very sorry today I could not start in time because I was busy with my some meeting here. This is the last unit we have. In the syllabus, we have social exclusion and inclusion. I just check out with the topic here. Actually, according to the social issues and the policies, we have this topic also, inclusion and exclusion. If the syllabi content of yours it varies, then we'll definitely discuss with the constitutional framework. Okay, so tomorrow, because it is the last class according to the timetable, I would like to review all the topic from first unit to the last unit. I would also like to talk about the constitutional framework or the constitutional safeguards for the articles, whatever we have for the securing all the vulnerable sections and uplifting all the weaker section communities. And then we'll once again go with the social development aspect, social development concept, and human development concept, social policies. And if you all remember, we have come across all these things here. We have the issues called the poverty, illiteracy, untouchability, violence against women, and then we have different other regional imbalances we come across, development induced displacement we have come across. So all these issues are usually where based on these issues, the government is coming across framing the social policies whereby the people who are not given any kind of acceptance, the people who are denied by all the rights in the society, opportunities in the society. For example, if people are excluded, if I'm talking about social exclusion, right? Social exclusion is not a specific topic here. Of course, we also have to cover this particular topic in social issues also. When there is social exclusion, the resultant of social exclusion will be, one of the resultant is one issue called poverty also. Okay, people when they are denied with opportunities, definitely the resultant of the denial of the opportunities leads to poverty. So likewise, we are going to connect, we have a connectivity with all the issues and the social exclusion also. Okay. So like tomorrow, I may start my class on time and I may continue with the class till 12:30. So I would like to, I think, wind up with the topics tomorrow. So please do attend the class tomorrow, is the last class. So I will check out that all the topics are once again covered in the class. So briefly, but then still I try to cover all the topics tomorrow. Briefly, we'll go with all the topics, whatever are there in the syllabi content. Okay. So thank you all. I'm sorry I could not continue with the class today. Fine. Okay. Thank you.